Hey guys, Eddie here from Dilleen Property. Today I want to do a video. This video is all about income. How much income do you need to build a property portfolio? And I'm going to share a little bit of my experience with building my own property portfolio to 16 properties by the age of 27. And for those of you that I guess have seen a little bit about my story and journey along the way, basically I have been featured in a lot of news.com.au articles on TV, Channel 9, Channel 7, lots of different, I'm usually in the media every 3 to 6 months for, I guess, my story and what's going on. But basically, if anyone remembers, back when I had 6, 8 properties and I was just starting to get media attention and all that kind of stuff and do interviews on TV about property stuff and finance stuff. Basically, my income at the time, we're going to talk about income. So from my experience, I speak to a lot of people every single day who want to build a property portfolio. And basically, one of the questions I get asked is, do you have to have a very high income? What's the average income of someone who does get to 5, 10 properties in their portfolio? What's the average income that they're usually on? And I guess one of the things I say back to them is when I was building my portfolio very aggressively, and I was building my portfolio, I had about between 4 and 6 properties. During that time, I was probably 21 to 22, 23 years old when I had about 4 to 6 properties, and I was during that stage. The income I was on has been featured in a lot of those news articles and all that kind of stuff. Like I was only on an income about 50,000, 60,000, sometimes even less, when I was buying the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties. So it definitely is possible to get 5, 6 properties on that kind of income. Generally, I've seen people who have been on incomes of 80,000, 90,000, etc. get to 7, 8, 9, 10 properties. So it's not like you have to be on 200,000 or 300k, 500k income per year. Yeah, it's very, very possible for someone who's just starting out to be on, maybe they're making 40,000 a year, maybe they're, young, 18, 19, 20, or something like that, and they have an income between 40 to 60,000. It's definitely still possible in today's market, 2019, to be able to build a property portfolio. So a little bit about it. When I bought my first property, I thought that when you first go to a bank or when you go see a mortgage broker and they give you your rough borrowing capacity, that say if you're on an income of say 50,000, you're making 50k per year. Quite often when I was first getting started, that's the income I was on. And I'd go to the bank and they'd say, Eddie, you can only borrow, your maximum borrowing capacity is 250,000 as an example. So my borrowing capacity, I'll just write borrowing, or otherwise known as serviceability, was say 250k. So income was that, income was that, 50k, and I could borrow about 250. So every time I bought a property, say for example, the first one I bought was like 140,000 as an example. I bought it for 140,000. That property rented out for around 200 to 220 per week. It was like almost 10 years ago now, when I was 18. I bought it for say 140,000. So I thought back then that, if I bought a property for 140 and my borrowing capacity was only 250 at the time, that I'd only have like 250 minus 140 would be 110. I can only buy something for 110 now. And that's what I originally thought. But that's incorrect. So basically what I didn't realize at the time is that when you go back, say you buy your first property, nice little property there with a door. Say you buy property number 1. And this is just talking about serviceability, it's not talking about deposits. But say you buy that first property, what the bank does, when you go back to the bank to get finance, or you go back to a broker to get finance, they take what rental income that property is giving you into consideration. So say if this property, my first one as an example, I bought it for just say 140k, and it rented for 200 per week. Let's just round it down. So it rented for 200 per week, good 7% yield roughly. 200 per week per year, what's that? It's around $10,000 roughly, so 10K. Basically, there's a lot of things that come into play here, but they'll take that 10, when you go to get finance for your second property, they'll take that 10K and add it to your income. So basically, this goes from 50 to 60. And then that will help get you finance for the next property. Bear in mind, there's lots of different banks that only take into consideration 80% of the rental income you are getting. Some banks cap it at 6%. I know a lot of the big banks do, but 6% yield. But basically speaking, this is, if you're looking to just buy your first 1, 2, 3 properties, this is still real. They still take into consideration the rental income. That's how quite often, you know, even if you're only on 50K and they say you can only borrow 250, after you buy 1 or 2 properties, this generally your borrowing capacity, it'll go down, but it's not like that's all you can borrow. You could probably turn a 250K borrowing capacity into $1 million borrowing capacity. So you could probably reach 4, 5, 6 properties on this kind of income, 50K, before you have to really start increasing your income, you know, get another job or whatever it is. I've done it all. I've worked 2, 3 jobs at a time to increase my income, to be able to borrow more and make more money basically in a shorter time frame. So it just comes down to, I guess, how much you're willing to sacrifice along the way. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps. It's very, very basic, but I get asked the question a lot, so I thought I'd share my thoughts and experience with you guys. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.